Hello, everybody. Welcome to Stardom Review. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here, it's that baby girl bee princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I am doing great, Andre. We were just talking about what was on our birth certificates. I'm baby girl B. Yes. I tried a new energy drink today. Pineapple. This ish is amazing. Highly recommend Pineapple Mirage. It's like I'm drinking liquefied pineapple. It's so good. How are you doing today, my friend?
Good. Didn't get a lot of sleep, but I'm doing okay. Just one of those weird nights where you don't fall asleep till late, and then your body just wakes you up super early. Mostly, my alarm clock woke me up super early because I have to finish watching the show we're about to talk about. Finish the last two matches this morning. The longest match, too. The longest matches. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that main event though, I gotta tell you, man, it was so good. I didn't want it to stop.
straight fire main event, man. But
Great
yeah, yeah. But again, I'm doing all right. Gonna go work out. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna work out at home this afternoon because my wonderful trainer Rich King has built me a home workout. So with no weight, it's all body and it just destroys my legs every time I do it. But I'm gonna kick it again today. So do that. It's just to
yes.
keep. Even though I should go outside because it's gonna be very nice out here in Edmonton today. Plus 20
Overrated. This
Celsius.
also coming from someone who's like terrified to leave the house right now just because of stuff that's been going on. Oh,
Yeah.
this place, I tell you.
I'll drag you out at some point. Don't worry.
I mean, it's like it's nice to at least have some protection. I'm going out here nowadays because gosh dang, had vehicles driving on the grass, had random shootings going on, loud noises, fireworks going off. I don't know what's going on anymore. Glorious, glorious chaos. Without further ado, though, we should get into this stuff.
Yeah, we're here to talk about some Stardom wrestling from a couple weeks ago. We're a little behind.
Mhm.
The March 20th Stardom Cinderella Tournament semifinals and finals show. The absolute fire show. Finally got caught up on it, and we got lots of wrestling to watch this weekend because we have the final two shows of a bunch of wrestlers coming up that was come out from the 30th and 31st. So there'll be
Oh,
and that
yeah.
so the next edition of Stardom Review will be the Superstar Japanese Wrestling Update crossover that will be covering the April 4th show, but then we'll have more covering the 30th and 31st coming up after that. Do
Mhm.
apologize for the time, but we're watching that one live and doing big reports for that. So lots of different stuff
Mhm.
coming out over the next couple of weeks. But we're here to talk to
Mhm.
Cinderella Finals. Before we do that, I want to thank each and every one of you guys, whether you're listening on Sunday's main event, Sunday's mainevent.com and patreon.com/SNME Radio. If you want to support them, please, if you can, give us a 5-star review on there, like it in whatever podcast catcher you have. Subscribe to us. Really appreciate it. Again, if you want to support on Patreon, you can. Only $4 American per month to support them. And a lot of content they have this weekend. They're actually restarting the trivia shows. And there's going to be 2 trivia shows on this Sunday's edition on the live edition after WrestleMania this week. So the live post show. So check if you want to play in that. You got to be a Patreon to get in on that. So go to the Patreon to play in that. There's lots of great stuff coming up with bringing a lot of things back and a lot of great new stuff over there at SNME Radio, the Patreon. And if you are watching us on the YouTube, whether it's Backbreaker Video, whether it's Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, we thank you so much for supporting us here on the YouTube. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. That is the thing I want to ask most of you more than anything is comment down below. We want to hear from you. We want to talk to you. We want to chat about professional wrestling with each and every one of you guys. We reply. It might take us a couple days to reply. Just we're busy, but we will reply to every message we get because we want to talk to you. We want to chat with you. We want to know your opinions and we want to respond back to your opinions. So please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you alert every time we drop a new video.
So,
And hey, welcome to my house. Don't forget to share a video because I went backwards on this.
there you go. There you go. I'll see
But
what you did there.
Yeah, I realized I forgot to say shares, so I forgot to do it the other way. So we're gonna jump into it. We're gonna talk.
Needs to mention demons in today.
Yeah, I didn't go with it today. Maybe later. We're gonna talk some Cinderella Tournament, the finals, or the semifinals and the finals on one show. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna do the whole card. Gonna quickly go through some of the undercard tags and stuff, and we're gonna talk about it. Definitely talk about Tam versus Giulia because that match was fire. We kick it off though. Mayu Iwatani versus Yuzuki. I really thought this was a great showcase match for Yuzuki. She showed some great fire trying to come back against her soon-to-be former leader. I think Yuzuki's leaving, right? Yeah,
Correct, yeah.
her soon-to-be former leader of Stars. And just a great little showing the fire she has. And again, this is a couple weeks. This is about a week. It's a few days before they would announce that she was leaving.
Mhm.
But again, it was probably known by this point. But yeah, again, just great little match to show. But Mayu, again, still the dominant presence. She's the leader of Stars. She's your IWGP Women's Champion. She ain't gonna lose this. At the end of the match, Mayu hits a super kick and yells for Yuzuki to get up. She hits another one, gets a 2 count. She then picks her up, bridging Snapdragon, and Mayu Iwatani gets the pinfall victory. And again, I thought Yuzuki did really well in this match, really showcasing herself. And I'm glad even with her leaving, they're showcasing out the people that are leaving, which is very surprising as a North American fan because usually if a person's going to be leaving, they usually get pulled off TV for 3 months so everybody forgets about them. That's usually
Not
what it is.
everybody can be Vince, right? Not everyone
Mm-hmm.
can be as butt hurt, butt tight as Mr. McButterson over there. Um, Mayu dominant in this one? I don't think that's the right word. I think savage in this one. She was straight up mean at the beginning of this match. She
Oh
beat the
yeah.
holy heckin' crap out of Yuzuki. There was one drop kick that she did right at the beginning there, knocked the ponytail right out of Yuzuki's head. It was brutal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
it was rough, man. Like it's almost like she was punishing this girl for getting ready to leave.
It was, which is ironic because we know she's the next one. Um, there was also one kick that Mayu did to Yuzuki there. When you're doing those straight up back kicks that we typically see in Stardom, here's your spine. It's going perpendicular, line it up, perpendicular to your spine. Mayu cock-sided her knee, and instead of it going um, perpendicular, it was damn near parallel to her spine. I
Oh,
can't imagine that that would feel any better, and it was still just as hard. It was so rough looking. I was sitting there going, "What is Yuzuki being punished for by Mayu of all people?" But there was also the Boston that Mayu put Yuzuki in, and she
so
held
deep.
that boss right so deep. She was pretty much sitting on Yuzuki's head, let alone the small of her back. It was
Well,
insane. But then she fell over and maintained that Boston, twisting Yuzuki's back in this weird, unnatural way where she had to just scramble to the ropes.
she had the Boston Crab, fell, and she was so deep with it, fell back, and then she did let go of one of them, but then torqued even farther, and she was literally
Yeah,
almost, this is where she was almost sitting on her head when she had the single leg crab, when she
yeah.
had switched to I was like,
The
oh, Jesus.
back started twisting in a weird, unnatural way, and I was like, "Oh my God, you're gonna kill this child!
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that." Lastly, there was a thrust kick before that German pin that Mayu pulled off on Yuzuki. That was just, it was so
I, I, I,
tight.
th- I think I called them super kicks, but yeah, they just she kicked her a couple times, just right at the end there.
I'm still sore. I apologize. I know that most people call it a super kick, but I am very anti-buck, and I associate the super kick word now with the Bucks.
No,
So,
I associate it with Michaels, so.
well, and if it was a Finnish style super kick, I would be totally for that. But I'm just going to point out, Shawn Michaels only needed
It's true.
one, and it ended the match. If it's not ending the match, it's not a super kick. It's a thrust. And it really was, because she pulled her knee in and just shot Yuzuki's head
Hmm.
off her body. It's crazy. This was a banger of an opener and a great match for both these ladies. I really enjoyed this match. This was a huge pleasant surprise.
Yeah, again, like I saw the opening, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a good match, and it was only just it was just under 8 minutes, but it
Mhm.
exceeded everything I expected because they worked so hard. Mayu just beating her, then Yuzuki's fire coming back, just laying into Mayu, and both of
So
them
good.
just like it felt like they before they went to the curtain says like let's just smack the piss out of each other here. Let's like lay. And she said to Yuzuki, "Lay your shit in. I'm gonna lay it in," and it looked like that. They were just rocking each other, and it was great.
I loved it. This was a straight up women's strong style match.
A hundred
Loved it.
percent. 100%. So we move on to 8-woman tag action. It's God's Eye versus Empress, Nexus, Venus. I gotta give huge props to God's Eye and their entrance when they all came out and posed on the stage, and you had the graphic of that dragon behind them.
Dragon. I actually took a picture of that and sent it to our beautiful friend, the natural Astrid, and she was like, "Oh my God,
Mm.
I need to be watching that."
Yeah, it was so
Yes, you
like
do.
I noticed a few things with graphics because I know when Hanan came out, she had a new, very splashy like cartoony version of her name behind her, Hanan. It
Yeah,
was like it felt like
very fun.
everybody upped their graphics game in this show. Like there was new graphics for a lot of people on
Mhm.
this show.
Yes.
Was it Ami Saray had a new graphic too? Again,
Mhm,
there was a few. Like it was really cool. Like no,
mhm.
Ami didn't have it. She had the dragon behind her.
Yeah, she
She
still
had
had the
the dragon
dragon,
too.
yeah.
Well, parts of God's Eye, but she had that dragon behind her too, and it was just
Mhm.
really cool to. I love the way they did the intro and them all posing that way in front of the graphic. I was like, yeah,
Yeah. It was distinctly different from Empress Nexus Venus, who, when they came out, Mina did her
she
dance,
danced.
which I did along with her. And then the other members came out and they just stood in that row, but they had their own individual poses
Hmm.
going on, but it was just in a row. And that in itself looked really cool and really
Hmm.
like intimidating yet classy. But then God's Eye came out and they were standing in the different levels,
They were
creating a
staggered.
different,
Yeah.
yeah, they created a different unique look. And I was just like, this is fire. This is showing exactly what the company has to offer, and I loved it.
And again, I think it's a new direction for the company. They're
Mhm,
still using a lot of the same people, but they're going, and it looks like they're figuring what they want the look to be with under this new manner. And again,
mhm,
I'm not going to complain because I've enjoyed this last year of Taro
mhm,
Okada and his merch guy running everything. But
mhm,
yes, there has been some missteps throughout the year. But again, everything has been pretty positive. The rise of Ruaka, the rise of Hanan over this last year. I've really liked those two coming up, and like there's been some really great stuff. But there's been some stuff like the Mina treatment over last year. I'm gonna say there was missteps. I 100% will say there was serious missteps, but I feel
Wouldn't
like they're
call what
trying to.
they did with Mina a misstep. That
It was
was a straight up fuck up.
Yeah, but again, I'm just saying they're trying. And again, I'm knowing some of the results from this past weekend. I think they're trying to correct certain things and put people into like with the building of Empress Nexus Venus. It puts
Mhm,
Mina into a better position. They've been winning a lot lately. I know they lost a few times off the hop, but they've been pretty dominant as a team lately. So again,
mhm.
it feel like they're starting to correct certain things and pushing people again and doing certain things again. It's biased because other people would yell, and because this match, God's Eye did not win, and people would yell about God's Eye's not getting treated right. But I don't know, it felt right for Empress to win because it seems like they're the team on the
Yeah.
rise too.
Also, they're the like, I know Hanako has been, I feel, a little graduated, a little bit more than Ranna. So in
Hmm.
the hierarchy of the new girls, I feel like Hanako outranks Ranna. And same is kind of like NJPW in that when you see these multi-people tag matches, you can almost guarantee which person on what team is going to take the loss
Hmm.
just based on that. But the ride is usually makes it worthwhile in Stardom right now, which
Hmm.
is good. Take us into whatever you have, if you have anything, because
I
I
don't
I
really
got
have.
no.
I don't have a lot. I didn't take a lot of notes for the match because I'm letting Mel talk her stuff. But a great spot. Goddess triple teaming Mina Ranna gets a 2 count, and then it just towards the end and transitions right into the armbar. Like her flow is getting really good, man. She's transitioning super well.
So good.
But Empress Nexus Venus breaks it up. They end up triple teaming Ranna. Mina hits that glorious sword running in Syuri, but the pin does get broken up. They take, and then Empress Nexus Venus sends God's Eye out. Hanako, Xena, and Mina then proceed to hit the Venus Tower on Ranna for the win.
Is that what it's called, or is that what you're calling it?
No, that's I was on the website. I was on the results
It's called the
page
Venus
on
Tower?
Stardom's website looking for the speeches at the end because Stardom World does not have any translations right now, and they didn't break anything up anymore. And I'm like, oh, please don't make me angry. Yeah, and Xena and Mina, and then it says when I scroll past this one, it said, yeah, they won with the Venus Tower.
Hey,
So,
at least we know that.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
just one more thing post match. Mina and Xena getting in the faces of Syuri and Mirai, like for what would be set up for the March 30th show, God's Eye versus Empress Nexus Venus for the Artist of Stardom Championships. So they were teasing that right there.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. We love a good teaser.
Mm-hmm.
So first things first, Syuri, back to her dark locks again, and I love it because she has this ability to make it look super cute by smiling and being all cheery, but it's like when that bell rings, she slips into this like just angry, punishing, just hard-hitting, crazy lady that's just so great. I love how intimidating she can make the same look. It's very, very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see here. Xena and Mirai. Yeah, the Power Girls starting off, Xena and Mirai had a great exchange at the beginning of this, showing off their power, which I really appreciated. The huge chop by Xena on Mirai. Mirai kind of loves that stuff, but she got Xena right back, and it was just so great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Waka weapons. Waka weapons.
And
I
the
love the
reversal.
Waka weapon.
And then
And
the reversal into the inverted atomic drop by Mirai. That was
yeah,
so good.
so good. Such a good little exchange there. What I really appreciated, though, as I mentioned, Syuri, she can turn on that freaking savage factor. As soon as she got in, she was reminding Waka why Waka is where Waka is. Holy heckin' crap, did she beat the shit out of her? Um, I got to appreciate Hanako for a quick second, because goddamn is her shoulders getting big. Holy hell, jelly. I want them shoulders. How intimidating did she look coming out and just being that giant on the end of Empress Venus, just standing there? Oh, my shoulders now look good. Look at that. Just standing there, intimidating as hell, and then getting into the ring and just plowing through everybody was phenomenal. Um, Ranna and Mina was a match I didn't know I wanted to see until I saw them
Yeah.
facing each other. God
Yeah.
damn. And Mina loves it. She was so expressive and just giving Rana so much, and Rana gave her so much. It was such a great exchange. I want to see them one on one
Well,
without any of their teams. I want to see them one on one.
Mina's a striker. Like if you watch her, she has
She is,
the
yeah.
she runs the elbows, the quick strikes, that
The
spinning back fist,
spinning,
the kicks
yeah.
that she runs. So like she is. Against like say sir because nobody's on Suri's level for kicks and striking because that's a
No.
whole different that is a lifetime of MMA training and all that she has. So
Mhm.
nobody's on Suri's level, but Mina's
Mm-mm.
that same style of fighter as Syuri, and getting Ranna who is that same style. Just
Mhm.
kind of now Suri's junior, who she's learning from the best person she can learn from, other than maybe Momo Watanabe. Again, it's great to see them going back and forth in that almost MMA's striking style.
Mhm. Mhm. This was such a great match. The Glorious Sword. It was so good. I loved this match. This is the match I took the most notes for,
Mhm.
minus the
It's our
match
favorite
7.
teams. And these are literally my 2 favorite
It was
teams
a
going
great
right now.
match, though. You got to
Yeah.
appreciate
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Even liking the girls, they were just did so good. Every single one. Saki doing her like little scared girl thing. She bailed out the ring right away as soon as the match
Yes.
started. Like,
Yeah.
but
And then
it
she,
worked.
hit a move and then ran to Syuri and tagged her in at one point and then bailed out of the match. She was like, "I'm done."
Yeah. I
That's
mean, fair. Look at what you're facing. I wouldn't want to face any of those girls either. I'd
no.
rather face Mina in a dance off, which I know I'll still lose, but at least then I won't get hit.
Mhm. No, you wanna face Waka in a dance-off because then you know you're gonna win.
Didn't want to say it, but I feel like there's a chance that she would like try to walk a weapon me after because she'd be mad.
Yeah.
This was a great match.
Yeah, again, really good match, and it really showcased Rana got to showcase, especially in there against Mia. Or Rana got that spot with Mia, and so just gave her that spotlight. Hanako got her big power spotlight in here. Xena and
Mhm,
Mirai getting to like just beat the piss out of each other for a couple of minutes at the start. Again, it just had
mhm,
that je ne sais quoi.
mhm.
Yeah.
Oui, oui.
We're going to move on. First of the 2 semifinal matches, it's Ruaka versus Hanan. They're battling back and forth early. Ruaka gets her over the top. Hanan recovers, gets back in. Ruaka drops her to the shoulder block. It's choking her in the corner. Hanan goes to hit the crossbody up the second, but Ruaka just pulls a Samoa Joe and just walks
Yes.
away.
That was my
Oh,
first note. Ruaka Samoa Joeing Hanan's crossbody.
that was
That's
so
freaking
good.
brilliant.
And
And the
she
way
just
she did it too, she just like whip, 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 whip. I loved it. It was so
like
funny.
she's Samoa Joe, but with some serious attitude on top of it all.
Oh, it's
Like
sassy.
he has an attitude to him, like he just walks like "fuck you," but hers was like a "ha ha ha, you missed." Like it was like
Yeah, it was so sassy. So sassy. I loved it.
Hanan does fire back and hits a second rope turnbuckle crossbody though. Hanan gets the inverted single leg crab. It's where and then she's going to try to pull the arm, but Rock is fighting, gets to the ropes. Um,
That was a
Hanan,
weird looking crab. I didn't know what quite to
well,
make of that. I called
it
it a
just
Boston leg with or Boston crab with a twist.
What's it inverted? She grabs it like under her armpit this way, almost Billy Goat's curse style, like into a dingle dangle, like the setup for the
Okay.
dingle dangle. But she's got it
Yeah.
forward, and then she's like looking at this, she's got it like under the arm this way, the foot coming out this way, and going to work pull the arm into like a sort of a bow and arrow type situation, like a seated bow and
Mhm.
arrow. Yeah. Hanan does get the arm snap of Ruaka, then applies that inverted single leg crab again. This is where she gets the arm, but Rena gets on the apron, distracts the Rev, and Tora whips the case at her.
And she like, what's she gonna do? She had no her hands were tied up,
She got
holding
hit with a
Ruaka.
case.
She took that thing straight to the freaking face.
Hey,
And,
don't
like, I
don't
was
don't.
watching this yesterday, and I literally, like, "Holy shit!
Mhm.
What the frick?" That was
Like
insane.
don't throw things at Hanan's face. You got to keep that face the way it is.
Money maker.
Leave that face alone. She's the
Look
face
at
of
how
this.
cute she is.
She's gonna be the face of this company. Like, come on. Yeah, the ref ends up getting taken out at one point or sent out, and it'll tie all attacking on in the ring. Yet Stars is there, but they do nothing.
Wait for it.
Yeah, Hanan is dumped over the top, but she gets out of the way. She gets fights off Oedo Tai, and this when she gets out of the way, and Hazuki comes flying through the ring, hits that suicide dive through, just crashing on Oedo Tai on the outside, taking them
Yes.
out. Hanan ends up stopping the tree slam, gets 17, but Ruaka gets out at 2. But Hanan hits the backdrop suplex, but Ruaka comes back with a suplex of her own. She goes up to the second rope, Vader bomb off the second, and gets shout out to Japanese legend or American Japanese legend Vader. Again, the guy was huge over in Japan. Like I think
Yeah.
the pinnacle of his career was Japan. Ruaka goes up, misses the freezer bomb. Hanan hits a sliding back elbow. They trade strikes. Hanan unloads, hits a famouser, then another, hits that bridging fallaway slam for 2. Ruaka fights off Hanan. She hits a tree slam for 2. She gets a lariat to the back in the corner. She puts her up top, tries the power bomb, but Hanan slips out, rolls her up 17 for the win. Hanan moves to the finals.
Yes. I interjected all the notes that I could that I had.
In,
So,
in 9 minutes and 18 seconds.
hey,
Yeah, great match. Great
getting
match.
close to the wire there.
Well, there's no wire at this
For
point, I
me,
don't think.
there's a wire. I expect all of the Cinderella tournament matches to be under 10 minutes
We'll
for
talk
my
about that in the
convenience.
next. Well,
I
we'll talk
know.
about the next one. The next match on the card. So you're good on this one since you're good.
Yeah, I interjected all the notes that I had, so we're good.
Yeah, I love it too. And again, I have loved the rise of Ruaka this past year. I think she has really stepped out
Yeah.
of the she stepped out of Tora's shadow. Like she was, it's not like she wasn't being presented. 'Cause she was Tora's partner for a long time, but
Mhm.
she's really stepped out to be her own person and become this like
Mhm.
I think the next Momo, the next
Yeah,
Tora in
they're
Oedo Tai
elevating her, yeah.
to really be pushed in. Like she could easily be into that white belt division now. And again,
100%.
I think she could do high speed because I've seen her do high speed. I think she'd be a great person in the high speed division and to like spoil high speed in the same way Saki Kashima kind of spoiled high speed in inside high speed matches. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think she would work well in there in that she could slow it down, but then everybody works super fast around her. I think she would do
Mhm.
well in that division.
Almost like an El Lindaman in the junior
Yep,
division in it. Yeah.
yep. More
Or,
like where the
or
power.
Alex Zane, because he was a
Yeah,
little big.
yeah. More the powerhouse of of the speed division. I think she could do really
Absolutely,
well in
yeah.
there. Yeah. So
100%.
move over to somebody who is high speed. It's Azumi taking on Ami Saray in the other
Mhm.
semifinal. Azumi hits a drop kick off the top during Ami's entrance because the way she
Mhm.
came in with the drop kick, I knew she was coming off the top. I didn't see her off the top, but it's like, oh yeah, she was coming off the top with that. They get into a roll up exchange. Azumi sweeps Ami, hits kicks, hits a seated drop kick. Ami goes to the floor. She chops the apron PK, tries a power bomb. But Azumi gets out, but is dropped with the shoulder block on the floor. She fights back on the floor, gets up on the apron, finally hits the apron PK. Back in the ring, she gets a top rope double stomp for 2, transitions to the Fujiwara armbar, then really quickly into the double armbar, but Ami does get to the ropes. Ami catches a head scissors attempt, slams Azumi into the corner. Ami drops Azumi with a shoulder block, gets a boss crab very deep in that, and then goes even deeper into the single leg crab. Not quite as deep as Mayu, but almost. Um, um, but Azumi fights. She gets to the ropes. They fight back and forth. Azumi gets the suplex. Ami then hits her own suplex. They're both down. Ami gets a stack pin. Goes for Azumi sushi, but as Ami rolls her through and stacks her for 2. Buzzsaw kick by Azumi. She goes to the top, but gets cut off by Ami. Ami knocks her to the apron, but Azumi drop kicks her off the top to the drop kicks her down to the apron. They fight on the apron. Azumi gets a victory roll stomp, goes back up. Ami comes up. They brawl more. Like it's that victory roll stomp. It's that almost that Francesco's Kira style stomp that she did. She did the roll
Oh,
through
yeah,
into the
yeah.
double stomp. Yeah, I love that stomp. They end up
Mhm.
brawling up top again. Azumi gets knocked into the ring, but comes right back up, trying the top rope power ball. Like tries the top rope power bomb, but can't get it. And Ami can't get up. And again, they get knocked into the ring. It was this weird spot where they kind of fell back
Mhm.
over into the ring. Ami gets up, hits a running lariat for 2. Azumi comes back with a leg trap German for 2, then hits La Mystica into a Azumi sushi, but only gets 2. They fight and fight. They fight. They fight. They fight and fight and fight. Fight for fight. Fight for fight. And Ami hits a huge lariat, but only gets 2. Ami reverses with the Casadora, gets the blue thunder bomb, only gets 2. So she picks her up, spikes her down like a thunderbolt, and gets the win. Again, awesome match. These two killed it. I love
Mhm.
seeing Azumi's speed around the power of Ami. I thought it was really good.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
contradiction of styles really worked.
Yes, yes. It was a very, very, very conflicted match for Ami for sure. Because Azumi, she kept up. Ami, sorry, kept up with Azumi pretty good at that beginning exchange. But Azumi just the slightest bit, the tiniest bit faster. She was already up on her feet and in the stance, while Ami was still, turning around to get back up onto her feet. It made for an exciting dynamic
Mhm.
because, like you said, she was pretty much running circles around her. But when Ami could catch her, all I could think about was like that scary movie um thing where they make fun of like scary movies. Remember that?
Mhm.
The girl in the sleeping bag, and Jason's just like pinataing her and just yeeting her and tossing her and banging her on stuff. I felt that's like what happened when Ami actually got her hands on Azumi. She was just yeeting her all over the place and just beating her down. But again, the conflict of the styles made it such an interesting and fun match to watch because Azumi is a very stubborn wrestler in that it takes a lot for her to go down.
Mhm.
I held my breath every time they were on the apron. I was just terrified that they were gonna fall off and someone was gonna get eliminated, and I was like, "Not like this.
Well, there was a
Not like."
German attempt. Didn't she have that roll through? There was a point where I think Azumi tried to suplex her onto the apron from the top rope, and it was just like, oh my god. Then
Yeah.
she tried to do the sunset flip power, or I don't know if it was a sunset flip because she was trying to lift her. Like
Yeah.
if you think about a sunset flip powerbomb off the top, the one person's in the back and they go forward, flip over, and powerbomb. Now, Azumi was in that position, but she was trying to lift Ami up to like lift her and power bomb her down in that, but it didn't work. But again, it didn't work in
Size
like a
difference.
failure. It didn't work in a failure. It worked in like they got out of it and both landed back in the ring, but not off a
Mhm.
big move. And again, it wasn't a failure. It just it was great dynamic to stop the moves.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Last thing I wanted to say is there was one point where, Ami fed Azumi a, massive lariat, and it just lone chaired Azumi. She kissed her knees.
Oh, she
It was
folded her.
oh, yeah, 100%. You know when you hit a good lariat that someone lawn chairs. Whew,
Hmm. Oh,
so
we're
good.
oh, I got another one to talk about in the main event for sure.
Yeah,
Good
I
great
agree.
one in there. Yeah, but again, another great match, and it sets up Ami versus Hanan. So it's either the person who took out Mirai in the second round, or Mirai's partner going to the final or going possibly winning the Cinderella tournament. It's one of the two. It's either Mirai's tag partner or it's the person
Mhm.
that took out the last year's champion.
My ADHD, I don't remember. Did you mention that Mirai is on commentary at this point? Japanese commentary?
I did not. I didn't realize he was on commentary until the semi main event.
Yeah, she actually she joined match 4, so this one.
Okay.
This was yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sitting there at one point, I was like, "Wait a second, I know that voice." Mirai has a very soft and very sweet sounding voice, and you could hear throughout the night. It was very calming in comparison to the her partners counterparts who were just like blah, 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 blah. Everyone was excited. It was great.
Mhm. That's pretty funny, actually. Yeah, but again, really good, solid match. I found. I'm trying to
Mhm.
delay. I need to pull something up for after
Wow.
the next match. I apologize. Okay, there it worked. It finally worked. Yay! Yeah, sorry. I'm just trying
Yay.
to. I have to pull something up for after the next match. I apologize, you guys, just for something's sake. I need to be able to read something. Yeah, again, really good match. So we're gonna move on to a. Ooh, did I miss a card here?
No? Nope, this is right.
Oh
Don't
wait, yeah,
panic.
sorry, I skipped one. I skipped one. I apologize. In my on my I rolled too far. So next match is a three-way 9-person tag team match. It is Crazy Star, May Sarah, and Suzuki teaming up with the Ladyship, Mai Sakurai, to take on Queen's Quest Lady C, Miyu Amasaki, and Saya Kamitani, and taking on Stars, Hazuki, Koguma, and Saya Iida. It's a proper three-way where a member of every team is in the match. Not this, hey, two teams are in and the other team sits on the apron and I can't possibly win. I'm only okay with that in elimination scenarios. If
I
it's not
agree.
elimination, everybody needs to have a representative in the ring.
I
This
agree.
doesn't make sense. I don't
I
have much
agree.
for this one. I just have a really good spot that was early on. My Sakurai getting Miyu in the Paradise Lock, and then Crazy Star getting the standing rear naked chokes on Queen's Quest, and then my sits on Miyu to pose, and they're kind of all posing, and then all three members, Koguma jumps up on the apron behind them, and then the other two members of Stars slide in, and they're all kind of like pose while the three of them are holding, they have the subs and posing. It was so good.
So fun.
I thought, and Koguma in the back like on the apron like
Kagama, 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 Kagama.
it was great. I love that. But in the end though, Stars hit this elevated second rope splash. With one of them coming off the top, the other two holding the person up in the air to Saya Kamitani. And Hazuki goes for the brainbuster, but she gets drop kicked by May as she's hitting this brainbuster to Saya Kamitani. And then May gets Saya Kamitani with that snap sunset flip. And yeah, and then May Sarah pins the current goddess of Stardom champion, Saya Kamitani.
Mm-hmm.
And this is setting up Crazy Star versus Aphrodite on the
Mm-hmm.
March 30th show. It will be our next
Mm-hmm.
review. I think on that show we're also going to talk about the main event from the I think one of the weekend before's matches, which had the New Blood tag titles in it. I think we'll have to add that in because
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think we're gonna do that whole show. But yeah, I want to add that. I want to add that match in.
Sure. Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Um, I don't have a whole ton of notes on this one. You've got the post spot. That was the only one that I wrote down.
Mm.
So what I remember from this one was Susu in particular was an absolute unit. She was all over the place, taking out everything. She was a one-woman army, just
Mm.
wrecking everybody's day and setting up for Mei to take over that win. And happy were those two at the end of that, obviously.
Oh
Getting a
yeah.
win and pinning for all the people that they could have pinned in this match. They pinned the one person in Saya Kamitani. Gotta be worried about those titles.
And that's not the person I thought was taking the pin in this match. Like,
No, of all the people, I definitely thought that they would cop out and pin Lady C.
like I was thinking, I'm like, it's either me or Lady C taking the loss in this match, or at worst, you're gonna pin Koguma. Like if Stars was taking the loss, so but
Or
like that,
Iida.
I don't think Iida would just with the title around with the New Blood title around her waist. I don't think they'd pin her, and
Eh,
Hazuki's I think at a point. But again, I felt it that I'm like Queen's Quest has to lose this with who's on their team, and then the one person I didn't expect to take the pin takes the pin. I'm like, what the hell?
I was gonna say, we're
Yeah.
just gonna circle back to what you just said. You know, Saya Iida's a champion, so is Saya Kamitani.
Yeah, but again, that the Sai Kamitani pin,
There's a setup for this. I understand that.
it's at least a build, right? So
Yeah, but we have seen Saya Iida take some odd losses since
yeah,
winning that New Blood tag title.
yeah, I won't
So
argue with
I,
that.
I was hoping that that would not be the case, but she has taken some odd losses
She has.
since winning that title. But yeah, this match was great. It was less chaos than I would have expected for a multi-person match like this. But I have to agree with you. I love the idea of having the three teams and having one representative from each team in the match because it makes sense. They're all fighting for the same thing. Why would you have one team just sitting there going, herpader, plug me in? No way. Like,
In elimination scenario, I don't mind that because at least you don't need
I,
to be there for the pinfall because they're
mhm,
getting rid of a team for you. So again, you don't have to be in there. But being the
mhm,
fact that this can end on a single pinfall, all three teams have to be represented.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
I also do really like how in Japan they always have in these multi-person tag matches, they do have the wrestlers typically step down from the apron.
Or they like
And
leave one per team, but they're the ones that
yeah,
aren't on the hard cam side. Except for Mina
Or,
in her 8-man, she was on the art cam side, but I didn't mind that.
of course, no one would. I also did not mind. But we also got to keep in mind we're not. I mean, I would rather stare at Mina's ass, obviously. But when we're watching a wrestling show, like there's been a couple times at some of the shows, just where I sit so that I can see. If someone's standing in the corner, sometimes I cannot see.
Hmm.
And you know, I like that they get off of the apron and that even sometimes they'll like squat down so like that just their heads are on there so that they can reach up and grab that second rope, yoink themselves up onto the apron and reach for a tag
Hmm.
suddenly. So I really do enjoy that because it does take the audience into consideration as well.
Very much so.
Yeah,
Very much so.
and like I said, this was surprisingly organized for how chaotic it could have gotten. I
Hmm.
think that it was so organized though because there was a certain heel faction missing from it,
Hmm.
which we'll talk about later.
Yeah. Oedo torture was not there.
No, no, clandestine torture was not there.
Yeah. We move on. We get to a singles match. Tam Nakano versus Giulia. This is actually an All-Star Grand Queendom 2023 rematch. If you remember, that
Mhm,
was 11 months, like almost just under 12 months ago, or probably about 11 months
mhm.
ago that match happened. That Giulia ended up dropping the title to Tam
All
Nakano.
time, yeah.
And again, they've had this little thing going on lately where they've had this little rival, like she's come back, and they've like Tam saved her from the help save her from the beatdown from a way to
Mhm,
tie, and again they seem to have this respect. And I know, I think in the final couple of nights they're tagging and stuff on the 30th and 31st. One of the shows they're tagging together.
mhm,
So they shake hands. They start unloading, slapping the piss out of each other. Then they go into strikes, and then they're beating the piss at each other. Tam hits a running forearm and a super kick, sending Giulia to the apron. They fight on the apron. I'm like, oh god, no. Oh god, no! And then Giulia gets Tam into the ropes and hits this neck breaker onto the apron, like out of the ropes onto the apron. I was like, oh
brutal.
Jesus. Um, Beautiful top rope drop kick by Giulia back in the ring. Transitions into the rings of Saturn. But Tam gets to the ropes. Giulia hits a drop kick in the ropes. Release hammerlock Northern Light suplex by Giulia. She gets her in the corner, lines up, and does that wind up into that baseball throw like strike that her and Mayu Iwatani both like to do in the
Mhm,
corner. Giulia choking Tam on the ropes. Starts tossing her by her hair, but Tam fights back in the corner, and she ends up getting up on top, grabs her, and gets a hanging dragon suplex, which looked really good because Giulia is just like flailing. Um, and then she pulls Giulia over the top, dropping her to the floor, and then hits a high cross off the top to Giulia. I really liked that, like her just like yanking her over and tossing her out. I was like, yeah,
mhm,
let's go. Um, Tam gets a backdrop suplex back in the ring after not being able to execute the tiger suplex, and then hits the running knee in the ropes for a 2 count. Giulia attacks Tam up top. They fight. Tam unloads, kicks Giulia off top, but Giulia comes uh, right back with a drop kick to her up top. Giulia comes up, hits really gross headbutts because there was a thud that I did not like in here. That thud
mhm.
sound that I heard, I was like, oh. At the end, hits that super double underhook suplex, and then rolls through into a Falcon Arrow. But Tam rolls through out of that into a German suplex, and then follows it with a bridging German suplex for 2. Um, Tam hits a spin kick. Giulia hits a headbutt. They both go down. Just stop with the headbutts, please. Um,
You're having a Jun Kasai moment.
no, all I think of headbutts.
Mikey Nichols and
No,
Hinare.
I think of Shibata because the man gave
Oh,
himself brain damage
he
doing
got better.
headbutts. Yeah, but that was 2017, and he only returned in 2022. Took him 5 years to get back
He
to a
got
point.
better.
Yeah, but it only took him 5 years to get back. Nobody wants
Tell
Julia
me
out
you
for five
understand
years.
my Monty Python reference.
I
Come on
do.
now.
I do, but I hate headbutts, man. Or
It's
do them
same.
safely where you're hitting your hand, like you grab the head and bang, you hit your own hands. So you're not skull to skull, man. Like, please. Or do it like the goose and headbutt the chest. Like the goose.
Hey, Goose's headbutts are solid.
Do it like the goose. Goose it up.
Honk, 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 honk.
Yeah. They trade backdrop suplexes and tiger suplexes. Giulia hits a Falcon Arrow driver. Tam kicks out at 1, then hits a knee, and then Giulia hits a knee to the face for 2. Giulia hits glorious driver. Tam kicks out at 2.75. Giulia.
How do you quantify that?
Giulia hits the Northern Lights bombs, but Tam kicks out at 2.85.
Bro.
Tam reverses another Northern Lights bomb into a Northern Lights bomb of her own, and then hits a bridging tiger suplex, but Giulia kicks out at 2.78. Tam, you were giving me shit about all the 9s, so I changed it up.
Didn't say I wanted to math on these shows, though.
Tam tries and fails at a Violet Screwdriver. She kind of drops her, but then she gets her back up. Violet Screwdriver. But then, and Giulia kicks out at 2.87. Like, holy crap. Like, these two will kick, like, and actually, Giulia, when I said Falcon Arrow driver, that was actually a Violet. I realize now that was actually a Violet Screwdriver, which that Giulia hit just like a couple of minutes before this. She hit a Violet Screwdriver. I realized that before she had hit her knee to the face. They brawl at center. They're just swinging for the fences. The bell goes. The ref tries to interfere. They toss him the out, and then they both keep striking. Then they both just collapse to the mat, man. Before I go to a post match, let's talk about this. This was phenomenal.
This was a straight up emotional, just get her all out. We're just throwing it all out on the line right now. And we're dealing with our ish and our differences. And they were dealt with. Holy fizzity yucking crap. The only things that I had written down that you didn't say, that dragon suplex that Giulia did off the top rope was so good. I think it was dragon the underhook. I don't know.
Double underhook.
Yeah, that I'm always impressed with those things because that would scare me taking because you're taking away my arms.
Well,
I have to trust that you're going to put me where I need to go.
Usually she releases during that suplex, but she held on during it because she rolled through to pick her up for the Falcon Arrow. So, like, that's where it was scary.
I feel like it was after the Falcon Arrow that she went for a pin and that I felt that it would have been done there, but she yanked Tam's head back up to break the pin. And then a few minutes later, Tam did the exact same thing, had Giulia in the pin and yanked her head back up. I was like, yo, okay, unfinished business still. These girls, like as you can see from my pose, it was just, I was beside myself with this one. It was just a straight up emotionally charged match that really sucked me in to the point where I couldn't really write notes because it was so good. And I also knew you would have the notes. And I don't know a lot of move names. The commentary, by the way, was actually like I know it was we only had Japanese one and I don't know Japanese, but like bless these guys' hearts. They will yell some of the moves out, so I actually will get some education on what's going on. And I absolutely love the accent. I love hearing it. It brings me joy and makes my heart happy.
I love it when they yell Violet Screwdriver. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. The tiger suplex became my favorite throughout the night. I was like, I can hear that. I know that one. And also how they say Famasser. Famasser. It brings me joy.
It's not a Famasser, it's Famasser.
The way they say it is very different.
Yeah.
It comes very I really enjoy it anyway. I actually really enjoy listening to the commentary, as I mentioned, because Mirai's soft-spokenness mixing with the one guy who was just yelling and screaming perpetually, it was just perfection.
I'll admit, sometimes when I'm watching these shows, I literally turn the volume down so I can still hear in ring, but then the commentary isn't loud, and I listen to a podcast sometimes. Honestly, 'cause again, I don't understand it,
Aw.
so
Yeah,
sometimes, not every time, but sometimes I do. Just
I get
yeah.
that, I get that. Like I said, it helps me learn some of the move names too,
Hmm.
learn what I'm recognizing.
Yeah. So after the
You
match,
have to start doing some videos for me so I can learn these freaking moves.
I don't know what you're talking about. I only make videos with you. What are you talking about? So after the match, Tam gets the mic. She says, it's really refreshing. Again, this is all. I'm literally reading this off of the Stardom www-stardom.com. So this is just straight up translated from Japanese what they wrote. So please forgive me because they didn't have the subtitles up on Stardom World like I normally get. So he says, it's really refreshing. It's refreshing to think that I don't have to look at your face, which I hated so much. When you're gone, my face will become swollen like this, and I'll show the most battered face in the universe in public. It's really refreshing to think that all the blood covered in press conferences, scuffles in swimsuits, protein dumping, and people lining up on Twitter will all be gone. Oi, Giulia, with you, I was someone you could meet once in your life or not. Right? Don't go. Don't quit. Julia says, Ha, you said exactly what I was thinking. Do you feel refreshed? And this is off of the website. That's Coochie's line. Koochi. So I don't know.
Be another wrestler or something.
Yeah, because some of the names are not right when they translate, so that's another
Yeah,
thing.
like
Yeah.
Kuraras.
Oh, it's probably Carrara or somebody else's. When I came to work, I saw your face in the office. You were wandering around in the waiting room, and I was waiting for my transfer. There was a time wandering, or there was a Tam. I don't know, wandering on the bus when I thought she a Tam when I again just talking about being refreshed, and she says I couldn't I I wouldn't forgive you if I'd found a better rival than you. I fought again and again and again, and today I got the answer. I'm quitting Stardom. I'm quitting. There's no way And and then she says, "There's no way I'm quitting, you idiot." What? Um, it, is she a better rival? Again, it's just a weird conversation there. Again, it's just both of them kind of going back and forth, and more about appreciation for the others being a rival, and then they kind of fight at the end of it all, and then Julia says, "Thank you, Tam." It was an odd little after match.
It wasn't really so much of a fight as they just started, like, kinda, like, smickety
Slapping.
smacking each other,
Yeah.
but then ended up in this, obviously loving and sisterly embrace on the ground where they were both crying, knowing that that would probably be the last time for a while that they would be in this situation, standing across from the ring one on one.
Mm.
Um, it was sad, especially knowing that we're losing Julia. But at least we get to keep Tam for now. For now.
Oh, tune in on on Friday when we do Japanese wrestling update because I have some Julia updates for y'all. Post
Oh yeah,
post
yeah,
Stardom.
yeah,
So yeah, I already got the update on April 1st, and it wasn't a joke.
yeah. Let's take her into the last three matches.
So let's kick it off. The semi main event, 10-person tag match. It's Aya Sakura with Cosmic Angels, Natsupoi, Sayoriana, and Yuna Mizunori with their Yuna's apprentice, Sayaka Kurura, Kurara,
Hurrah!
Kurara. My words don't work. Versus Oedo Torture or Oedo Tai, if you want to call them, Fukigen Death, Momo Watanabe, Natsuka Tora, Arena, and Starlight Kid. It's a great little. I only have this little spot from the front and then the finish. Kurara and Fuki. When Fuki does the smoke, And Kurara's like yelling at her, like, no, put that out. No, like she's yelling something of that point.
Smoking is very bad for you, okay?
And Fuki actually drops it and like stamps it. And like Kurara looks very proud of herself, and then Fuki just attacks her. It was so good.
It was adorable.
I laughed. So at the end, though, Cosmic Angels and Oedo Tai are in and out, taking each other out. Aya Sakura gets a close inside cradle on Rina, but Momo attacks her, and Rina gets to the top rope, hits the double knees off the top, and gets the win. Again, fun little 10-person tag. It was actually probably the least invested in the whole show that I was, I'll admit.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
weird.
There's a lot of fun stuff happening in this one that I'm kind of
it's a good match. It was, to me, out of every match in the show, it was my least, the one I have the least amount of thought in my head about after.
It's fair. Yeah. You've also become a little disenfranchised with Oedo Tai since they started their torture stuff a little bit more.
But I like me some Cosmic Angels, and that's I don't know.
I
watched the match. I watched the match full through, and it just was like I took a few notes, but I was like, most of it I was like, whatever.
So, I have to look into this a little bit more, but I saw a report on Twitter, the X thing, that said Aya is actually in Cosmic Angels. She's not just a separate member of it; that she is actually considered a second apprentice. On the Kurara level.
Because I'm looking at cage matches thing. So it says Aya, and then with Cosmic Angels, and then it has Kurara separate from, not in the parentheses, Cosmic Angels. So again, it's just the way cage match has it set up. Because Kurara,
you mean Sakura?
Yeah, whatever the
Kurara. Sakura.
No, but Kurara too.
Kurara is a part of Cosmic Angels, though. We reported on that a while back.
She's not technically a full member yet. She's an apprentice. She's an apprentice member. She's Yuna's apprentice.
Just we know what that means, though.
Yeah, but Yuna wasn't full member when she was Nat's apprentice, so.
Can I talk now? Anyway, I'm happy that Aya is back. We've been talking about her a little bit, missing her. I like the new gear. I do feel that it doesn't look as sharp as her original gear, but what I do like about it is that it fits her better. Her other gear, it was kind of made out of material that did not clearly have spandex in it. So when it bagged out as she was running, it didn't stay, like it didn't go back to, like, her leg, for example, when she was wearing shorts. As she was running, the shorts would bag out and you would start to see looseness in the material. We didn't see it in this new pink gear. It was very pink, very bubbly, very cute. Just kind of reminded me of Hanan's original gear when we first started watching, that little schoolgirl kind of vibe with all the little bows and stuff. I thought it was really, really cute. Poise gear. Poise gear. Also, Natsupoi's gear. Really, really cute. I really do like the new gear that she has with the yellow and black with the chrome, like legitimate chrome accent. And then the fun little strappy straps and wings on the back. Really, really cute. The big bow on her butt, I don't think she's quite used to it. I think it's a little bit longer than what she's usually used to, because you could actually see her touch it a few times, which is very relatable, because as someone who is like not a fan of bugs, if you feel that little tickle on like the back of your leg, my first instinct is it's a spider, frickin' kill it, and I will start doing the crazy frickin' dance to be like, no.
I've seen this.
Yes, I have done this many, many a time. It is a legit fear. The last thing I want to say about gear, Momo Watanabe rocking some new gear. Now, the gear in this picture is not the gear that she was wearing in the match. The new gear, I freaking love. I've mentioned before that this gear in the picture, it didn't seem like it fit her properly, and I felt that it did her a disservice, because I feel like she is a lot better looking than what it allowed her to look. Does that make sense?
Well, I think like Tora, she has lost a bit of weight.
She has, yes.
That's why, so that, like, when she was a bit thicker, the gear fit her a lot better. But since she's lost some weight, the gear doesn't fit her right, so it's always sat weird.
For
Yeah.
me, it was the boobs on this one that didn't. It was very Britney Spears in the 2000s, where it was like layered bikinis and stuff,
Mhm.
and I didn't. It made a mess on her top, which then of course the stuff that went over her stomach bagged out a lot because of it.
Mhm.
Her new gear, it's very Azumi to me. It's very tight, very strappy. It fits her, but she can still move very, very well. I really, really like the look of it. Um, Aya and Sakura, right? Is that the right one?
Aya
Sayaka.
Sakura.
A Aya and Sayaka, so the two new girls, trying to go 2-on-1 with Tora was adorable. Stupid, but adorable. They kind of got their socks rocked off. Poi, though, was like a feral pixie in this match, just running in there and taking out absolutely everything and everyone. I absolutely loved it. There was a misdirection that she did with Starlight Kid on the ropes that just looked so quick and so smart. Um, I really liked Yuna coming in against Rena and denying her the judo toss. I was at first. She did eventually get the judo toss, but Rena ran in there, went to do her, and Yuna was like, "Nope, yeet." And then Rena was able to come back a little bit later and actually get that judo toss. But I really liked that because it really shows the strength and the smart wrestling of Yuna. Last thing I wanted to say was Momo Watanabe. I almost called her Wowo.
Whoa,
Momo,
whoa, not Momo Watanabe.
right? Like, chill, girl. Seriously. She is so chill, though. You can see from the picture here, that is her tone, her mannerism throughout every match she is in. She is scary casual about how freaking strong and good she is. She doesn't come in there running with a sense of urgency. She saunters in there and be like, "Yeah, you want to go? Let's go."
Mhm.
It is so refreshing to see, especially being put on display, particularly in the closeout of this match. I absolutely love her. I hope this is her year where we start to see her build a little bit more. Because last year I feel she was pretty quiet,
Yeah,
real
I
quiet.
agree with that. I
Yeah,
agree with
that's
that.
all I got on this one.
Yeah, again, good tag match. Again, just for me, it's the one match out of this entire card I remember the least from. I don't know why. It just is. Yeah.
A way to torture.
Yeah. So I move on. It's the finals of the Cinderella tournament. This is the graphic that they put out because again they didn't know who was going to be in it. It's
Mhm.
Hanan versus Ami. So Ray. They're beating the heck out of each other just immediately. Ami drops Hanan. She tosses her around by her hair. Ami gets a speed chops in the corner, hits a shoulder block. Hanan trying to fight back, but Ami keeps attacking. But Hanan eventually gets a judo toss and the drop kick into the bottom rope, sending Ami out and hits the high cross off the top to the floor. Back in the ring, Hanan gets the famous for two. Ami gets Hanan up for the torture rack, places her in the corner, splashes her twice. She only splashed her once and they fall out, but she got the splash twice to the back, twice in the corner, but misses the sliding lariat, and Hanan gets her running, sliding back elbow there. Um, Ami hits a suplex, but Hanan then comes back with a follow-away slam. But then Ami hits a big lariat, and they both go down. Hanan comes back with a drop kick, but Ami gets a lariat. She gets the Ami gets the wrist, and this is where she just unloads with those short arm clotheslines just over and over and over and over again. Then finally goes running, bounces off the rope, and smacks her with that running lariat for two, kind of like half folding her. They're like
Mhm.
not that full fold, but she bounced around there a bit. And on try 17, but Ami gets out. Hits She hits the suplex. Ami hits the suplex, hits the blue thunder bomb for two. Hanan does a victory roll out of like a thunderbolt, gets a 2 count. She follows with a backdrop suplex, dodges the lariat, hits another, but then is caught with like a thunderbolt. But Hanan kicks out at 2.91.
I hate
Making
fractions.
it. Hanan stops another like a thunderbolt, gets 17 for 2. She then hits the backdrop suplex driver, whatever you want to call it. Then hits a pop up European uppercut, hits that fall away slam bridge, but she can only get 2. Bridging backdrop driver by Hanan, and she scores the win. Hanan is this year's Cinderella and gets a wish. After the match, Hazuki and Koguma help her to the back because we will see her to close out the show in her
Mhm.
Cinderella gear. But
Yes.
great match, man. I would have been happy either way this match went, but I'm
Mhm.
actually really happy to see them elevating Hanan that
Mhm.
much farther up.
Mhm.
So Ami was already at a level. You know what I mean? I think she could
Mhm.
already, in my opinion, she's already in that white belt division, in my opinion. Like
Mhm.
I think
I
she's already
agree.
where Hanan. This brings Hanan to that
Up
level.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Um, yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add to this. The only two notes that I have that I can add to what you said there is at the beginning here, they didn't come in their entrance gear because they had already done that earlier in the night with their respective matches before this one. They came
Mhm.
out and they were ready to go. I loved how Hanan came out just absolutely beaming. Just exactly how she is in this picture. She was just grinning from ear to ear, just so happy to be in the situation that she's in, and it brought me joy because how many
Yeah.
times have we seen that where someone's come in going into a very serious match and they're beaming? It's usually like game face, very serious. But no, she was sitting there like, "Yes, I'm in the semi-main. I'm potentially winning the Cinderella tournament." Like, it was so it made my heart happy. Um, I really again, the judo toss denial that was happening, this night was just so crazy. Hanan all obviously related to little sister Rina. Their judo tosses have kind of become a thing among this group of sisters, and they're very, 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 very good at it. They're very snug, they're very crisp, and they can pull those tosses out of nowhere. That Ami was strong enough to deny Hanan the first one was great, and it made Hanan really have to step herself up for when she actually did get that judo toss off, and when she did, she had to yeet Ami so badly and so hard that she damn near cartwheeled herself out of the move. She was moving so fast with her momentum. It was so impressive. Yeah, very happy with this match. Congratulations, Hanan. You deserve it.
Yeah. So again, they goes to the back. She's going to get changed to Cinderella. So we're going to go to the main event for the World of Stardom Championship. It's
Oh,
Maika defending against the Red Queen, Utami Hayashishita. Mel's first. I think Mel's first ever girl crush in wrestling. I want to say, or in Japanese wrestling.
yeah, yeah. I mean, my girl crush and my favorite female wrestler right now
Oh, I was calling Utami
facing
your
each
girl
other.
crush.
No, Maika's my girl crush. Utami
Oh,
is my favorite.
oh, I thought Utami was your girl crush at one point too. But okay,
No, no, it's Megan Bain and Maika. Divine
all right,
Kingdom.
all right. So
Divine Melball.
so again, the pretty even early wrestling around for the advantage, trading shoulder blocks. Utami ducking lariats, ducks a lariat, hits a solid drop kick. Again, Utami gets a camel clutch at one point. Again, just good back and forth with the drop kicks and the lariats early. Utami catches Maika running with a crucifix and turns it into a Rings of Saturn. Or sorry, Maika does that to Utami. I apologize, but Utami gets to the ropes. Again, more back and forth, like just each trying to show their power, dominance over each other is what a good chunk of this match was. Not
Mhm.
a bad way, but like it was just them
Mm-mm.
each working around. Maika with a nice Uranagi, but then Utami gets a takedown, but then Maika hits a snap power slam, but Utami comes back with the air raid crash, and then they both go down. Again, it's those it's those things that those little things that I love. They get a nice
Mhm.
strike battle going. Utami drops Maika, and they trade lariats. Neither go down until Maika eventually lariats Utami down. Uh, again, Utami, Maika getting Utami up, it hits a superplex, then rolls through into two more suplexes on the mat, and gets a two. Utami fights back. It's Maika up top. They battle. Maika knocks Utami off top, but Utami comes right back up and gets the air raid crash off the top for two. Um, Maika hits a lariat, but Utami lariats her on the rope to the floor. They battle on the floor, lariating each other around the ring, but no one will go down. They make it back in at 18 and continue. Then Utami eventually drops Maika. Sleeper suplex by Utami that Jay White style like sleeper suplex looks really good. With like she's like spun with it too. It looked really good.
Mhm.
Maika almost goes out, but gets that hand on the rope just just at the last possible moment, and then rolls out to the floor. Um, Utami, they fight back in the ring. Utami dropping Maika with strikes. She goes up, but gets cut off. They fight up top. Maika, with the big strike, hits the superplex again. Utami comes back with a German sending Maika into the corner. Looked rough as hell. Then
Mhm.
gets that torture rack into the swinging slam. Um, Utami hits a release German, then hits a deadlift bridging German for two. Um, Maika slips out of the hijack bomb, hits the spinning lariat, but Utami comes back with a lariat of her own. The hijack bomb is slipped out of again, and they trade strike until Utami crumples. Maika hits a big drop kick, or a no, sorry, was it a big lariat? And this is where Utami like
Mhm.
folds into, like she literally kneed herself in the face.
Armchair.
Yeah. Uh, Micah gets the attacks in the corner, gets her up, Hemika bomb, the running power bomb, the Hemika bomb, as I'm gonna call it. Then hits a Michinoku driver too, but Utami gets their shoulder up at that 2.998. And Micah gets her up, wrist clutch Michinoku driver too. Then another, and Micah retains the World of Stardom Championship in 29 minutes and 41 seconds. And I could say sometimes I'm bored on super long matches. This one had me throughout. Again, I'll admit it only took me about 22 minutes to watch as I watch usually most of my wrestling on 1.5 times the speed, but it was so good.
This was a roller coaster from start to finish. If you could not focus on this match, who the heck are you?
Mm-hmm.
What do you add to this? Like, goddamn, this was a war between the two strongest women, arguably, at Stardom, minus Tora, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, holy heckin' crap. Mm. I mean, you kind of got all the good spots. Let's just talk about how awesome these women are. Utami, deceptively strong, man. That woman has just been a powerhouse since I've seen her from day one, and I'm sad that I didn't get to see her hold a like that I started watching Stardom after she had held her singles titles. I haven't actually seen her hold anything other than the tag titles. Which disappoints me because she's so gosh dang fracking good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but the evolution of Maika over the last 2 years of us watching Stardom, to see her go from being arguably just another powerhouse on Donna Del Mondo next to Giulia, next to Himeka, losing her tag team partner in Himeka when she retired, and then kind of being put on the back burner of Donna Del Mondo while Thekla, Mai Sakurai, and Giulia held the Artists of Stardom championships. She was kind of floundering on her own for a little bit. But joining up with Megan Bayne, having that dominant run in the Goddess of Stardom tournament, and now coming out of Donna Del Mondo, forming Empress Nexus Venus with Mina Shirakawa, we're in the age of the Crimson Queen here. It's just it's so good.
It's the era of the Empress.
Yeah, this was a passing of the torch match, it felt like for me. And Utami made Maiko work for it. This was an incredible match. Holy heckin' crap. Start to finish. The first match of this show and the last match of this show, just clear definitions of what strong style women's wrestling is. This is Joshi wrestling right here. This is
Yeah.
incredible.
So after Maika gets the mic, she says, Utami, you finally accepted me and called me your rival. I hated you so much at first, but it's true. I'm so happy. After all, you're the best rival. I'm glad you came. Thank you. Utami gets so on the website. It translates Utami's name in Japanese to Shimmy. Don't know why, but Utami says, Maika, you really are a woman who never stops evolving. You are the red champion, and I had a match with the champion Maika, and even though I lost, I'm really happy. As promised, one of us was the winner. I'm the one who says we will fight until we fall, but I'm really happy you're my rival. Thank you. This is where Mike asks for a handshake. Utami goes to and handshakes her. It's where Momo Watanabe enters the ring and goes to attack Tommy with the bat, but Micah pulls her out of the way. Momo gets the mic, says, Hey, Micah, how long have you been acting like good friends? It's disgusting. It looks like you're and she goes, and she says, and it says this to Tommy, it looks like you're a shitty challenger like this. Let me wear that red belt. And then Mike gets the mic back. She says, Isn't it a little late to come? I'm scheduled to go to America on April 4th. There's someone I want to face there, April 4th in Philly. The next challenger is Megan. Look, I'm looking forward to it, Megan. And again, she's challenging her ex-partner of Divine Kingdom, Megan Bain, to a match at the April 4th show in Philly, which has been made official. It's Megan Bain versus Maika for that title. This is where Momo fakes an attack and then rolls out and leaves. And then afterwards, Maika and Utami do get a hug.
Mm-hmm. I cannot wait for Maika versus Megan Bain.
Mm-hmm.
God dang. God dang, god dang. Because, like, match of the year in Stardom last year, Giulia versus Megan Bain.
Mm-hmm.
Holy heck. I mean, we can say something about Maika's evolution we just did, but Megan's Bain's evolution when she was with Maika in Stardom. These girls are going to have a battle, and I am looking forward to that match so much. So much.
Just in Bane in the span of 6 months went from where she was when she showed up to just this domineering presence when she showed up, but to this incredibly dynamic presence by the end when she left in January. It was just
yeah. That effortless charisma that she has. It is so good. Like, so good. She does not have to say shit.
Nope.
She just walks into the ring. She has these subtle facial expressions that she does to just pull you in one way or the other. But her presence is so intimidating, but so incredibly, what's the word? It draws you in at the same time. You're asking yourself, what is she going to do? Realistically, you don't know. She has such a crazy range in her like moves. You never know. It's gonna be so good. And who knows her better than Maika? She probably taught her some of that shit.
Probably. Yeah, most likely. So we move over to the final part of this show, and it's Miss Hanan coming out. She is crowned as your Cinderella for this year. Again, this is direct translation off the website. Hi, I'm Hanan. I've become a real Cinderella. I'm 19 years old, and this is my first Cinderella in 7 years. So that means she's been around since she was 12. How fucked up is that? Azumi started at like
Azumi's been there since 11.
yeah.
Should we still keep having this going? Or are we going to get in trouble for that?
It's a GIF, but yeah, yeah, I'm gonna remove that. Yeah. But yeah, yeah. I will aim for the white belt. I will continue to shine a light on the future of Stardom. Hey, Mirai, because Mirai's at the commentary table,
Commentary.
and she's showing off her dress to her, and just like with the Cinderella dress, kind of like playing to it. Uh,
Mm.
this is I became Cinderella. This is what I want to say. Thank you. We will make 2024 the year of Hanan. So please continue to
Yes.
support us. Thank you very much for your help today.
So happy. I'm so happy.
Oh yeah,
She
again,
deserved it. She earned that ish so good.
mhm,
So good.
very much so. Very much so.
Mm. What a
Yeah,
show, Audrey.
absolutely amazing show, man. These two, again, the two like those top two matches. I mean, the opening matches. I mean, there's some great like the undercard, just like phenomenal. Just I again, even like I say, like Oedo Tai and Cosmic Angel as well. So when I remember released, still a great match. There wasn't
Yeah.
a bad match on this card, but
No.
sometimes there is. Sometimes there is like a
Yep.
match where like, ugh. But this was just top to bottom phenomenal. Like, highly
Uh-huh.
recommend you go check out the Cinderella tournament
Mhm.
finals. It's so good.
100%. 100%. This is a very, very solid show.
Yeah. So before we get to the outros, so we will be back later this week. If you want to check us out live, there will be I think we'll have a Chop Talk coming out this week. But for Stardom Review, we'll be live on OLD on Friday at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Um, we'll be doing our Japanese wrestling update X Stardom Review. It's going to be a crossover. It's going to be a historic crossover. We're going to be taught. We're going to
Don't tease me with that. I want a legitimate historic crossover.
Yeah, and we'll be doing a few minutes of news off the top, just talking some few stories as we do on Japanese Wrestling Update, and then we're going to review in full the Stardom show from April 4th, Stardom in America from the Keystone Arena. We're going to review that show, 5 matches there, and then I should be able to get it. There's a Syuri versus Masha Slamovich match from GCW that I'm going to try to get me and Mel to have. I'll send it to her, so we'll both have watched the match, uh, and we'll try to add that to the review if we have both gotten to see the match, because that just sounds great. Syuri and Masha Slamovich. That sounds like a great
Mhm.
job. Other thing we have to talk about on Stardom Review. So that'll be coming out. Because we'll be doing it live at 1, and then as soon as I'm done, I'm getting the audio over to SNME, and I'm gonna get the video up on right here at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk as soon as I can right after. So again, that show will be out by Friday evening. That show will be on the website. Will be on our YouTube. So, and it'll be on Sunday's main event that evening too. So please check those out. And yeah, so much more to go. But I think it's time to wrap it on up. I guess I should put the banners out. You can find me on the X at that Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at that Canada Dude, Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, and you can always find us here on YouTube at youtube.com/ at Andre M Melball Wrestling Talk. You can find us also at SundayNightMainEvent.com Stardom. And our Stardom reviews, our new Vampiro Wrestle reviews, and select episodes of Chop Talk will be on Patreon. SundayNightMainEvent.com for the regular feed. If you want to support, patreon.com/SNME Radio. $4 American per month. You can support them. Don't forget to check us out, like I talked about, Japanese Wrestling Update every Friday at twitch.tv/our local establishment and youtube.com/at our local establishment. Normally at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, but this week's special timing of 3 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going live there. So check us out over there. And then you get replays for all the great content over at youtube.com/at our local establishment, where you can find me doing Marvel Talk. You can find my Ghostbusters review. Lots of great content coming. We got April 10th. I'll be back on there with Ed talking the first five episodes. I look like 4 there, but 5 episodes of X-Men 97 on Wednesday, April 10th. We'll be talking about that. So come check us out over there. One more shout out to our boy, Mike the Ref, over at youtube.com/@backbreaker video for supporting us there. If you are watching us there, thank you so very much. All his great content is AEW watch alongs get replayed over there. If you want to see those live, go to twitch.tv/Mike the Ref, where you can see him doing his AEW watch alongs on every Wednesday and Saturday. And then he'll be doing pay-per-view Sundays too, ladies and gentlemen. So check him out over there. And if you want, go to youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming to see the replays of all his great gaming content that he does live on Twitch. You can find content from him, Mr. Privilege James Crowder, PJC, the man whose sticker I still haven't picked up, Rick Jules, and it's been a couple weeks and I still haven't picked that up. And then their freaking guest, Kayla J.
Kayla J.
Kayla J.
Kayla J. We love Kayla J.
We do. Melball, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me, as Andre mentioned, on our local establishment programming, Japanese Wrestling Update, usually on Fridays at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, unless it's not. Then you want to stick to our socials to see when it is. You can also find me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We're hopefully going to be coming out with a show soon. Just a lot of ish going on. That girl is busy. I'm busy. Chaos, chaos, glorious chaos. Wow, that was a different. It's usually glorious, glorious chaos. Opposite chaos. If you're wanting to watch Stardom, you can go to link in the description box below, stardom-world.com. It is 920 yen, approximately 10 Canadian. Shoutouts on Spears and congratulations for being back on NXT, but it's more like 750. According to this girl, because I checked my bank account, still an amazing price to watch some incredible women's wrestling, because you want to watch the show that we talked about today, you guys. I'm telling you. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
Okay, I just want to say thank you to all for all the great support. If you're listening on SundayNightMainEvent.com or Patreon.com/SunnyRadio, please like the podcast on whatever podcast catcher. Give us a 5-star review. We'd really appreciate it. Leave some comments if your catcher allows, and then please, if you can, support them over Patreon. $4 a month if you want to get some extra content, get in on the trivia that they're bringing back this WrestleMania weekend. So you can check that out. And then if you are watching on YouTube, please, whether it's Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, whether it's Backbreaker video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. So we want to hear from you. We love talking to you. We want to hear all your great opinions. Don't forget to share us out to all the great creatures across this great world. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video. Hello.
It's a reasonable time to answer the door.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time.